Good morning, Facebook family, friends, and my faithful lawyer YouTube subscribers. Today it is February the 28th, 2017. This is the final day of February. This year is flying by pretty quickly.
Yes, it is, like it always does.
Approximately how many days into the Trump administration?
Oh, hell.
Because today he's supposed to be giving a speech.
Today is the 28th, so he's actually been in office technically 1 month and 8 freaking days.
Okay, so he's...
And it seems like another damn millennium has gone by.
All right, so we were in the kitchen talking, and I was preparing some coffee, and we got to the discussion, and I brought up the subject. I really do feel that the Black Lives Matter movement is what led to the election of Donald Trump.
I think it's part of it. I don't think it's the whole part of it, but I think that had a lot to do with it.
Well, I think that a lot of white Americans didn't quite understand the
they didn't understand. Well, maybe some of them did, but most of the time, the complaint that you always heard was white people saying, "But they're just saying that only Black Lives Matter." That was not what was being said. We were saying that our lives matter too, because apparently, with all the police shootings and the injustice that we have seen take place in our justice system, apparently we don't matter, because a white guy can do something. For perfect example, a white guy who raped this girl behind a dumpster. What does he get? She was unconscious. What does he get? He gets 6 months probation. But then a black guy who's 17 has a relationship with a 14-year-old white kid. They had a relationship. They gonna claim he had statutory rape on this child and try to put his ass away for years. What kind of shit is that?
Okay, so we know that there are some discrepancies in the judicial system that's been going on for years.
Yes, it has been going on for years.
The only way you're going to change discrepancies and change the judicial system is by voting and participating.
In the system.
So if the Black Lives protesters, Black Lives Matters protesters would march up and down streets. Why
they can march their ass to the polls.
March into the voting booth.
Yes, you don't seem to understand. We're living in this country, and this country has a system. And in order for you to be effective, you have to do some of the things within the system. Now, truly, it does seem that it doesn't work, but over time, it has worked. I mean, Martin Luther King proved that. He marched and advocated for voting. He fought for voting. People died and lost their lives for voting. What do? You sit at home and say, "Oh, yeah, they're going to do what they want to do." And I'm sick of hearing that.
It doesn't make any sense to march up and down highways and byways.
Well, the only time it makes any sense is when we got some white folks in the front, and then they kind of pay us a little bit of attention.
Even if you got some white folks in the front, I don't care. If you don't participate in the election process, voting, get up off your ass, going into a voting booth, running for office, and participating. All this marching and protesting is it's not going to accomplish anything. It's not going to. But wear out a good pair of Nike tennis shoes.
That's going to wear out a whole bunch of Nike tennis shoes. It's going to wear out your jawbone. It's going to wear out a whole lot of people's patience. And you wonder, what does it really do? I do know that when people march like that, I mean, it can blow over and explode. A lot of times when people are marching like this, it does help take some of the steam out of your anger.
3 years into the Black Lives Matter protest movement, we end up with Donald Trump.
Yeah, that.
What does that tell you? Something. Yeah, there's a
lot of things that were wrong. People didn't vote. The Black Lives Matter. White folks saying that our lives matter too. What was it? The revoking of the what was the mandate where if you had to have a certain amount of blacks to go to different schools, they blocked all that shit out. I think there still was the 43% and the 47% that did not vote for Obama with white folks. I think they were still mad about that. They were still under the impression that this country was turning away from the white supremacy, the white being on top, and that the playing field was getting closer to each other. But it's never going to be closer to each other, because you still got people out there who think that we were always going to be second-class citizens. Hispanics are always going to be second, third-class citizens. White is right. All that old garbage.
Worry about what they think about us being first, second-class, or third-class citizens.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I know who I am.
At home, not participating in the voting process.
Right. You still have people sitting at home, not participating in the voting process, and thinking as long as they got 3 square meals and they can smoke their cigarettes and they can have their Budweiser, everything's cool.
And see, I've always felt that we need to do things under the radar. The marching and protesting is the wrong way to go about trying to create change. The gay marriage movement, you didn't see any protesting, marching, or protesting, nothing about gay marriage until gay marriage began to become legal in the United States.
Yeah.
I
that's
knew
true.
about gay marriage in 1989 when I first moved to Atlanta, Georgia. That was almost 30 years ago.
Exactly.
Now we went a long period of time where gay marriage was all this was handled under
a
the
lot
radar
of it was handled under the
because they knew
radar
it was such a sensitive
in certain
subject.
states. Now,
no, from the very beginning, it was always handled under the radar.
Well, now. Thinking
and
about
it wasn't
that.
discussed that. It was never really discussed publicly until the last 10 or 15 years.
Well, I'm thinking back. I mean, like last night, there's a program on that's going to come back on Wednesday night. I'm going to tell you, I cried last night. I put it on Facebook. I was so touched by it. It's called We Will Rise last night. I saw it on ABC, and it was a wonderful show.
I saw it.
It was a wonderful show.
About San Francisco.
That's why I said in certain states, because even like San Francisco was one of the first states that really got into it with Harvey Milk and all those got into it earlier.
If I'm correct, that's a period piece set in the 60s, isn't it?
I thought it was the 70s and the 80s.
70s and 80s, okay.
Yeah, 70s
about
and 80s.
Harvey Milk.
About Harvey Milk and the rise of the gay revolution and liberation in California. And I'm going to tell you something. If you haven't seen it, please check it out on Wednesday night, because I'm telling you, it touched me. I mean, I've always felt that I've been more liberal-minded about people, and I think people are people. I'm glad I have that point of view. Well, I'm not saying they're dogs and cats, but what I'm saying when I say people are people, black is equal to this and white is. I try not to put everything in a racial basket, except my saying is I'm not racist. I'm not racist against you unless you're racist against me. I have nothing against you until you have something against me. That's my whole premise. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and be equal-minded. But back to Black Lives, I think it takes the pressure off of what we as a people, what people have been feeling about I call them murders, people call them killings, people say they're accidents, people say they provoked it, whatever.
Under the radar.
Yeah.
To get things accomplished. We ain't got nothing accomplished. The Black Lives Matter movement really hasn't accomplished anything but got us Donald Trump for president of the United States.
Well, what it did get us is a lot of ridicule from a lot of people and hopefully some kind of understanding. I don't know if it did or not. I hope it has.
How is this some type of understanding when we stuck with Donald Trump now?
Well, like I said, they didn't vote. We had white folks who didn't like him and didn't vote for him in the first place. And now they got this little symbol up there who is 2 inches short from his Hitler.
The Black Lives Matter movement incorrectly handled the situation. Marching and protesting in 2017 is not the correct way to bring about change for something as great as police officers shooting and killing black folks. You've got to start working with the sheriffs, your local police officers. You got to start putting legislation in place.
That's the very thing that we've been saying and we said yesterday. That need to be done.
How you can't get this accomplished marching up Peachtree Street?
No, you can make yourself notice, and you can hope that you can bring awareness to some people. But the basic way to get noticed, as we said before, and we talked about it yesterday, midterm elections coming up, and you start from the ground level. That starts with the judges, and the policemen, and the chief police. You got to know all these people need to be in the right place.
Now this goes back to gay folks and gay marriage. They only voted for people. They met privately with these politicians and said, this is what we want done.
Right.
See, this is why black folks need to stop all this fist pumping and marching up these damn streets. You be privately with those politicians and say, okay, we got a problem here.
Well,
we will vote for you, but first off, we got to understand the power of our vote.
Right. There is power in the vote, but we have to stand together and do that. If we don't stand together and do that and talk to the legislators that we have right now, I mean, it's the same way with John Lewis. I mean, for me, he has been on the forefront, and I think that even with the issue with the guy, what is he in Alpharetta or whatever, they called him a pig or a dog or whatever. I think his ass needs to go. How dare you talk about somebody like that?
In Gwinnett. I think it was.
Is it in Gwinnett? How dare you talk about that man like that? And you pissed off because he's exercising his vote and he's telling you what things are wrong in our state capital, in our government. That's what he's there for. That's what he was hired to do. So I think that guy in Gwinnett who's dogging out John Lewis, he needs to go. And he's purposely another white man who says, I'm white, I'm right, I'm not going anywhere. And they can't put his ass out.
Well, he hasn't been able to have any council meetings since all his started.
Good. He don't need no council meetings because he doesn't have the right temperament. He's not in the right frame of mind. He's not the right person.
You think it's a good idea to hide people away who publicly express stuff that we don't agree with?
I don't know if it's hiding it away.
It's better to know
dealing
with than somebody than putting. Would you rather? I'd rather deal with the devil I know.
I said that. I said that when the voting came out. They used to bitch at me and say, "Why would you vote for Hillary?" I tell them quick, fast, and hurry. I'd rather go vote for and be with the devil I know than the one I don't. And Trump was the one that I didn't know. I knew what Hillary was up to.
Well,
she wasn't perfect, but she doing fuck with him, Donald Trump, and she wouldn't be doing the shit that he's doing right now. Well, and he's getting away with it. I mean, he's doing more. I've never seen nobody do as much shit as this man.
Well, he hasn't got away with much yet. Now,
but you wait, like you said, people meeting undercover. Mm-hmm. You don't know what him and his little team have already got going.
That's why we have to have a seat at the table, Miss. He ain't your president. You better claim him as your president and be at that damn table and let him know you represent me too, motherfucker. You want this job as president of America? You represent my black ass also. How you doing, President Donald Trump?
Well,
I want my seat at the goddamn table.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the table, but I'm gonna leave at least a 10 volume so that I won't go off and beat his ass. Okay, better give me a volume first.
We have to understand that if we can't walk away from this man, I think some people are upset because he met with some. Who did he meet with?
My Lord, come on.
He met with a few people.
Okay, he met with more than a few people. Okay, first of all, he met with all the different little areas in the black society that matter, supposed to us. Okay, first of all, he met with Jim Brown. And he met with Ray Lewis. Okay, the football player says, blacks can't do nothing but be athletic. So he met with
Jim Brown and Ray Lewis.
Then he met with Kanye. Okay, Kanye claimed he didn't vote for him and all this kind of stuff.
I have a question before you keep going that direction, though. What if he reached out to other black politicians and they, in turn, those other black politicians just did not want to meet with him for fear other blacks would get angry? And so if he's reaching out to various black folks saying, come have a seat at my table, let's sit and talk, and they're afraid to come because of the backlash.
Okay, the only thing I have to say about that, from the character that I've seen of him, and as Maya Angelou would say, when the people tell you who they are, believe them. If he was to reach out to whomever, I don't trust his ulterior motives, as he was with Kanye, as he was with Martin Luther King III, okay, as he was with Steve Harvey, that had that poor man crying on TV and all this little good stuff. He's still got to meet
with these people, whether we like it or not. He's going to have to start meeting with members of our
Well,
community.
if the meeting that he has with those people will show me some sort of a difference or some sort of a movement that makes
you want some productivity.
Yes, I want some productivity.
Well, he's only been in office for a few weeks.
But the few weeks that he's been in there, the shit has been rising higher and higher.
But we cannot sit on the sidelines.
Oh, I'm not sitting on. I sit on the side. I'm sitting here talking to you and hoping that all these people out here that see this shit on YouTube will make you think, make you wonder, make you go out there, and if nothing else, make you understand that there's opportunities coming for us to do something about this shit.
But you do agree that we have to participate
with we do.
Donald Trump as a president. We have to have a seat at this table to discuss with him and let him know how we feel and what we want. That's
like asking me to take castor oil. It's some bitter ass shit. It is some bitter ass shit.
He is the president. We have to participate with him.
Well, as they said when Obama was elected, he's not my president.
Well, they still participated with him though, right?
Oh yeah, they participated with him. They tried to. They hung his image and effigy. They put monkey on him. They said, "Nigga, go home."
Worry about that
all this old shit. That's great participation. And I'd be willing to bet you if I went outside and put that shit outside my home,
there are people out there now who are doing that type of stuff about Donald Trump all over the place. Have you not seen these reports? We have to ask ourselves a question. This is a very important question. What are we trying to achieve? He is the president now. Now we can ignore this man, or we can participate with him. What do you want us to do?
Well, my participation is definitely dogging his ass out, hoping that at some point
it
will register
to accomplish anything.
It's making me feel better. That's accomplishing a lot for me.
Well, wouldn't you like to accomplish something?
Oh, I would like to accomplish a lot. If I thought he would be genuinely concerned, I thought he would genuinely listen, But from a tiger doesn't change his stripes overnight. Okay. A leopard is not going to change his stripes overnight. He has been this way since day one. From the time he started campaigning back in 2015. He's the same shit he said then. He says it now, and he's doing it now, and he's never changed his opinion. He is still the same redneck coward that he's always been.
And so we still have to participate with this man. We still have to sit at this table.
I'll put it to you this way. When he calls me and he knocks on my door and says, Miss Perry, I heard you have an issue
You
with
don't
me.
have to come knocking
Then
on
I
the
should
door. I'm
participate.
sure that
in
you
him.
will. If you want to participate and let Donald Trump know how you feel about certain things, he on Twitter all day long. You go right to that Twitter and tell
Isn't
him how
that
you
amazing?
feel.
Of all the avenues for our president to use, this man is on Twitter.
But
I don't
that
even know how to
opens
really
a
use
door.
Twitter. Do y'all know how to use Twitter?
I don't know how to use Twitter that much.
That
But
shit is
this man
crazy.
is on a Twitter, but you can go to him and make your voice heard.
Don't push me.
Well, go.
Don't push me.
We got to participate.
Baby, somebody call me, text me, show me how to use Twitter and how to get to him. I will talk to him. Yes, I will. Hopefully, though, y'all better have a 6350 for me when they put my ass in jail.
We cannot ignore Donald Trump. So I think we have to participate. And I think a lot of black folks are going to have to get this through their thick skulls. We have got to participate with this man.
By participation,
as
I'm definitely going to be, as I have done before and I will continue to do, is reach out to my congressman and give him my opinion on some of the things that I see that are going on. That's my level of participation. And trust me, if and when I think that I need to step my little happy jack ass up and say something more than what I'm saying on YouTube, I will. I will. I'm not afraid to, because you know what? If he can run and be a politician, I'm pretty sure I can too.
You can.
I can too. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out here that are seeing this, be thinking, well, is she crazy or she not? No, I'm not crazy.
No, you're
I'm
not
just
crazy.
tired of shit that's happening in this country that shouldn't happen. I'm tired of being considered a second-class citizen. I'm tired of...
You're not a second-class citizen.
Oh, no, we're not. I'm tired of
I've
people
never
just
considered myself a
constantly
second-class
allowing...
citizen.
No, you're not. I'm tired of people constantly allowing our politicians to just do whatever the hell they want to do to people.
You gotta have a seat at the table and demand that they represent you for what that man's president of the United States for all of us, not just some white folks in Kentucky. But we're gonna end this video now. We're running out of time, and we're gonna continue in a second.
Okay.
So
we're gonna have part 2 in a
in
minute.
a few minutes.
In just a few minutes. So y'all stay tuned. We're coming back. Peace.